Hi there, Paul here from Ballistic Blood Bullets. No monkeying around today, straight into it with Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Yes indeed folks, we have the Play.com exclusive, just arrived this morning in the post, and it is the Blu-ray Steelbook. Very nice indeed. And again, it is a magnificent Steelbook, very much a quality item, very simple on the front side of the Steelbook itself, nothing raised, just very plain and flush, but very clean. Just on the sides here there's some little dinks unfortunately, which is slightly annoying, but that's the first I think that's actually happened to me. Now of course the unfortunate thing is that it's unlikely I'll be able to return it, because this, again, like other Play.com and some of the HMV exclusives, the Steelbook has actually sold out in pre-order. Now this sold out about 10 days ago, and the official release, I believe, of the Steelbook is Monday coming, and today being Saturday, received it a couple of days beforehand. But as I say, it is a matter of having sold out in pre-order, so those lucky enough to get in early have secured theirs, but anybody jumping in now wanting to go to the Play.com site will be very disappointed, unfortunately, but very pleased to have it. And those little dinks aside, could have been a lot worse, but still very pleased with this one indeed. Let's just have a look inside. It is, again, unfortunately, which seems to be more the case with the Play.coms than HMV, it's without interior background art, which is always a shame, because that little bit of extra detail really sets these Steelbooks off very nicely indeed, so that's a disappointing factor. The discs themselves, they have nothing dynamic in the way of art, but there's artwork on there nonetheless, and very much welcomed. And it's simple art, but again clean and crisp. And there we have a look at the main ape character Caesar, and this is the digital copy of the film. And of course here we have the main Blu-ray disc as well. Now the Blu-ray disc itself seems to be listed as all region A, B and C, although on the reverse of the Steelbook it does actually quite clearly state that it is a region 2 PAL format. But I'll look into that and let you guys know a little bit later when I've had a chance to watch the film. Again, it is a film that I've not seen, but very much looking forward to it, and read a lot about it leading up to its release. It was a film I would have certainly loved to have seen at the cinema, but didn't have the opportunity. This one of course stars James Franco, Frida Pinto, John Lithgow, Brian Cox and Tom Felton, who perhaps will be best known to the younger generation of audience goers for, of course, the Harry Potter films, but perhaps the central role, which is very much worth mentioning, goes to, of course, Andy Serkis, who is the character actor for the lead role of Caesar, the leading ape, the upriser. And the story seems to centre around a genetically enhanced chimpanzee, who of course turns out to be Caesar, and his name's Caesar, and he gains self-awareness after being raised in a human family environment, and his sentience leads him to rise up and free his fellow apes, as he has of course also acquired the power of speech. What is quite interesting, it does certainly sound as if it is a mirror image almost of the original Planet of the Apes film with Charlton Heston and Heston's character from that film. And it's going to be very interesting indeed to see how they work all the characterizations and the intricacies that work so well of the original film. But as I say, it looks glorious, and it's done again by the Weta team effects people who are responsible for the Peter Jackson movies, all of the Lord of the Rings movies, but of course perhaps most pertinently his film King Kong, of which of course Andy Serkis is no stranger, because he of course was also the lead character ape actor in the lead role of King Kong, so he certainly knows how to mimic an ape and a chimpanzee, and Peter Jackson's King Kong was a sterling effort as well. Overly long for me, but definitely a real step forward as far as special effects were concerned, and a very, very competent piece of filmmaking. Now Andy Serkis, of course, much like Roddy McDowall from the original Planet of the Apes films before him, Roddy McDowall very much famous behind the makeup of the apes, and he played various characters over the duration of the films, but he himself also played the role of Caesar in, I believe it was the Battle of the Planet of the Apes, the Uprising, and also a previous film as well. I think it was Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. But perhaps as far as Roddy McDowall is concerned, he is most famous perhaps for his characterisation as Galen in the series in the early 70s of Planet of the Apes, which was a very, very good series indeed. And along with the Blu-ray release of the entire collection of the films of Planet of the Apes, not in this edition unfortunately, but in the American release, and I think also an extended European release, they also included, and I know a lot of you will have the ape head set, and that also includes the TV series, and that's a series that I'd like to look at again, so I may well pick up that in a separate box set at some stage, because it certainly was a very, very cool series and very well done for the early 70s, and its replay value went well into the 80s. And that's when I first saw it as a sort of young guy in the early 80s watching it, and I know it played again in the 90s as well, and I'm sure if you check out some of the satellite channels that somewhere there on one of the obscure channels there will be at some stage Roddy McDowall reprising his role again in Planet of the Apes, in a re-showing. But as I say, I hope for at some stage to pick up the show in a box set. But certainly as far as Andy Serkis is concerned and Roddy McDowall, I think that both as far as they're concerned with their extremely capable acting roles behind the makeup and the special effects, they are certainly most likely to be remembered by fans and film historians alike for their remarkable mimicry of chimpanzees and apes. And it is Andy Serkis's performance here as Caesar that definitely is going to be the highlight of watching this film for the first time. But as I say, it is about the Steelbook, and this is a very nice Steelbook indeed, and very much in line with the terrific recent releases to Steelbook from both Play.com and HMV, and their exclusives. They are very, very well done indeed. So there we are. That is the Rise of the Planet of the Apes Play.com exclusive Blu-ray Steelbook. Very much looking forward to watching it, and look forward to any comments and your thoughts on the film as well, and what I have to look forward to with this one to watch in the coming days. Thanks very much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. Take care. See you all soon. Bye for now.